You've felt it, right? It's this low-grade tension that's just kind of everywhere. Online for sure, but also in the grocery store, on the highway. It feels like everyone is just walking around pre-annoyed, you know? Like their defenses are already up before anything has even happened. We're all on edge. But why? Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, this tweet just nails the absolute absurdity of it all. You say something totally innocent, and someone, somewhere, will twist it into an attack on something else. It's hilarious because it's so painfully real. We jump from 0 to 100 almost instantly, turning simple chats into these weird battles.
And this isn't just about Twitter arguments. It happens in the real world, too. It's the person who floors it when you try to merge in front of them. It's that awkward, tense moment at the grocery store when your cart bumps into someone else's. It's like there's this unwritten rule now that says, don't give an inch and take everything you can. So seriously, what is going on? Why are we all so ready for a fight?
Now look, it's really easy to blame social media. And yeah, the algorithms that are built to keep us glued to our screens, they absolutely throw gasoline on this fire. But they didn't start the fire. The real story, the deeper reason we're all so tense, goes way, way back. It's something baked into our DNA as humans.
The thing is, our brains are running on some seriously old software. For thousands and thousands of years, survival depended on a very simple operating system, an us versus them mindset. You trust your people, your tribe, and you're naturally suspicious of everyone else. It's our default setting. So here's the crucial thing to understand. For most of human history, belonging wasn't really a choice. It wasn't a feeling. It was a fact. You were born into it, and it gave you security. But the whole idea of what a tribe is has been completely flipped on its head, and our ancient brains are struggling to keep up.
In the past, your whole identity was handed to you. Take old Scandinavian names, for example. A name like Schmidson literally just meant son of the smith. Your job, your community, your entire life path, it was pretty much laid out for you. But today, well, today our tribes are built around what we buy, what we believe, and who we follow online. Our identity isn't something we inherit anymore. It's an outfit we choose to put on, and then we have to defend it, like our lives depend on it.
And this is where we get the big glitch in the system. We're walking around with these Stone Age brains in a super high-tech, globalized world they were never built for. Them isn't the village over the next hill. Them could be your own cousin posting something you disagree with on Facebook. This creates this really disorienting thing that sociologists call context collapse. Okay, think about it like this. You post a picture of a family cookout. To you and your family, it's just a nice memory. But online, that same picture is seen by your vegan friend who's bothered by the burgers, your eco-conscious coworker who's noticing all the plastic cups, and maybe someone from a totally different culture who thinks your shorts are inappropriate. Your simple local moment has collapsed into a global arena where it's being judged by a million different rulebooks all at the same time. No wonder it's exhausting. And you can see this play out perfectly in how the media tells stories. Take this Chinese app. A left-leaning publication sees it and writes a headline about a national loneliness crisis. Why? Because that fits a worldview that focuses on big societal problems. But a right-leaning publication sees the exact same app and writes a headline celebrating single living and individual choice. It's the same set of facts, but they're spun into two completely different stories, each one designed to fire up its own tribe.
So, if our brains are hardwired for tribes, and our modern world is constantly sorting us into new ones, what does that do to our sense of self? Well, it turns our identity into less of a fact and more of a performance. The game is no longer just about survival, it's about significance.
And these new tribes can be, well, pretty much anything. Your identity might be deeply tied to being a Star Wars fan, or the brand of leggings you wear, or some online ideological group, or, of course, your political party. All these things give us that sense of belonging we crave, a ready-made script for what to believe and who our enemies are. This quote just puts it perfectly. When your identity is something you perform, a criticism of your beliefs or your tribe doesn't just feel like a simple disagreement anymore. It feels like a personal attack, a threat to your very being. And that's why people react so fiercely and so fast.
So you look around at all this fighting, and you have to wonder, where did all the reasonable people go? It feels like the whole world is just two extreme sides screaming at each other. But is that really what's happening? Well, no, not quite. See, in today's world, having a complex, nuanced opinion is actually a huge liability. If you say something like, okay, I think we need to protect the environment, but I'm also worried about how new regulations will affect jobs, you don't sound thoughtful. To one side, you're a monster who hates the planet. To the other, you're a radical trying to destroy the economy. You get attacked from all sides for not picking a team.
So what do you think reasonable people do when faced with that? They check out. They go quiet. It's not because they don't have opinions. It's a calculated move to step away from a game that feels impossible to win. The reasonable people didn't vanish. They just stopped talking.
And let's be super clear here. This is not apathy. People still care, deeply. It's just that the cost of trying to have a good faith conversation has gotten way too high. And when all these people opt out, it creates this illusion that the angry, toxic voices are the majority. They're not. They're just the only ones left in the room, so their voices echo.
Okay, so if that's the world we're living in, what on earth are we supposed to do about it? Well, trying to fix the whole system is probably a bit much. The real goal has to be learning how to navigate the world as it actually is. It's about mastering the art of coexistence.
First, we just have to accept a hard truth. Disagreement, friction, even all this tension. It's not a bug in the system. It's a feature. It's the unavoidable price we pay for living in a diverse, free society where people are allowed to think differently. It's simply the cost of admission.
So if that's true, then the problem isn't the conflict itself. The problem is that we're losing our ability to handle it. So our objective needs to shift. We're not aiming for some fantasy world where everyone agrees. The real goal is to build up our own personal resilience so we can endure the conflict without breaking.
So how do we actually build that resilience? It starts with us. Number one, practice emotional restraint. Just create a little bit of space between when someone provokes you and when you react. It can be as simple as taking one deep breath before you start typing. 2, know when to walk away. Not every hill is worth dying on. Ask yourself, is this conversation actually going to go anywhere good? If the answer's no, disengaging isn't weakness, it's strategy. And finally, and this one is tough, try to listen past the insults. Sometimes, buried under all the anger, there's a real fear or a real concern. Learning to hear that isn't for them, it's for you. It preserves your own energy and peace of mind.
In the end, this whole project isn't about changing the world to make it less harmful. It's about changing ourselves so we can navigate a harmful world without adding to the harm ourselves. And maybe that's the real challenge for every single one of us. How do we find the strength to live with all this friction without just becoming another source of it?